In this video, we discuss how to buy and sell a home at the same time without losing your mind. Doing two things at once always sounds like a shortcut, right? Multitasking feels efficient until you try it with something as big as buying and selling a home at the same time. For most people, this process is one of the most stressful financial events in their entire life. And if you get the order wrong, if you buy before you sell or sell before you're ready, you can end up trapped with two mortgages, zero houses, or worse, a whole lot of financial pain. So in this video, I'm going to walk you step by step through how to buy and sell a home at the same time without losing your sanity, your budget, or your peace of mind. We'll cover exactly what you need to do, what to avoid at all costs, the insider tips no one tells you, and I'll even break down real life scenarios of families who I've gone through the process with. By the end, you'll know not just what order to follow, but how to protect your finances, negotiate like a pro, and make the transition as smooth as possible. If you've been sitting at home thinking, should I buy first? Should I sell first? Can I even do both? Then grab a notebook, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive in, because this video could literally save you thousands of dollars, months of stress, and even your marriage. Let's start with the $1,000,000 question. Should you buy your new home before selling your current one? Or sell your current home before buying? Most people instinctively think, I should buy first so I don't end up homeless, right? I get it. No one wants to sell their house and then crash on an in-law's couch for 6 months. But here's the truth. Buying first is almost always our financial nightmare. Unless you're paying cash or your current home is fully paid off, you're taking on double mortgages, and that can destroy your budget. A 2023 Freddie Mac survey found that 68% of homebuyers who tried to buy before selling ended up under extreme financial strain, often dipping into retirement savings or emergency funds to cover overlapping costs. Many admitted they underestimated how long it would take to sell their old home. I once had a client, let's call them John and Lisa, who bought their forever home. Before selling their current one, their plan, sell quickly. Reality, the house sat on the market for 6 months because new construction in their area tanked resale demand. They carried two mortgages totaling over $7,200 per month and eventually had to sell their first home at a $25,000 discount just to escape. That's the danger of assuming everything will line up perfectly. The National Association of Realtors reports that homes take an average of 70 to 100 days for listing to close, even in the strong markets. So unless you've got magic buyer lined up, there's a real risk you've won. Your home won't sell as fast as you expect. That's why selling first almost always wins. Buying and selling at the same time is like a chess game. You don't move all the pieces at once. You plan 3, 4, even 5 steps ahead. That starts with your timeline. One of the biggest mistakes homeowners make is assuming all housing markets move the same. In reality, timing is everything. According to ATTOM data, homes listed in May and June sell for 10% more on average than homes listed in December or January. Imagine leaving $30,000 on the table just because of timing and the season. I worked with a seller who tried to list in November because they thought buyers would get serious before the holidays. Instead, they got fewer showings, lower offers, and had to sit until spring. Once we relisted in April, the house sold for just 9 days for $18,000 more than the original offers. The lesson: timing matters more than most sellers think. Buyers also need to consider school calendars, job transitions, and even weather. Families with kids typically move in the summer. So if you're buying in March, you'll face stiffer competition for family-sized homes. If you're buying in December, you may find motivated sellers, but limited inventory. Planning also helps avoid double moves. Let's say your current home sells faster than expected. Do you have a plan B? Short-term rental lined up, a rent back clause in place? If not, you could be scrambling last minute. So mapping out these what-if scenarios with your agent will prevent you from being blindfolded. Next up, getting your house ready to sell. Think of this like prepping for a first date. You wouldn't show up wearing sweatpants and mustard stains. Same with your house. Buyers judge within seconds of entering. As we look at another survey from the National Association of Realtors, staged homes sell 88% faster and for 20% more than non-staged homes. That's not just theory. I've personally seen staging boost perceived value by tens of thousands of dollars. One client just spent $2,500 on staging and cleaning and got $40,000 more than a neighbor with a similar home. That's a 1,500% return on investment. Professional photography is another must. Redfin reports that listings with professional photos get 61% more views online. Most buyers today scroll Zillow or Realtor.com like Instagram. If your photos don't pop, you're invisible. Curb appeal is also huge. Research from Michigan State University found that landscaping alone can increase home value by 5 to 11%. Something as simple as fresh mulch, trimmed hedges, and a power wash driveway can net you thousands more at closing. Finally, pricing. I once had a seller insist on listing $50,000 above market value to leave room for negotiation. The home sat for 90 days and buyers started asking, "What's wrong with the house? What don't we know?" So we dropped the price back to where it should have been, and it sold within 2 weeks. Moral of the story, price right the first time. Here's where the discipline comes in. You must sell before you buy. So selling first gives you leverage when buying. Think about it. Sellers love clean offers with no strings attached. If you've already sold your house and have cash, or at least a clear debt to income ratio, your offer looks stronger than someone who has to sell. According to Zillow, offers without contingencies are 2 times more likely to be accepted in competitive markets. From a financial perspective, selling first also gives you clarity. You know exactly how much equity you've unlocked. You're not guessing about your down payment or net proceeds. That certainty allows you to shop smarter for your next home. Another benefit, freedom. If you've already sold, you can negotiate your next purchase without pressure. You're not desperate to unload your old house to free up cash. You can walk away from bad deals, low appraisals, or inspection issues without the first clock ticking on 2 mortgages. Okay, so you've sold your house, but what if you don't have a new home ready yet? Rent-back agreements are more common than you think. According to NAR, 22% of recent home sales included some form of rent-back. I've negotiated 45-day rent-backs for clients who need a breathing room, and many buyers are happy to agree if it means their offer gets accepted. Short-term rentals are another powerful option. With the rise of Airbnb and furnished rentals, you're no longer stuck signing a 12-month lease. I had a client secure a 2-month furnished condo downtown, cheaper than paying double mortgages and more flexible than a year-long lease. Contract contingencies work best in balanced markets. If you're in a hot seller's market, sellers may reject your contingent offer. But in 2020, when inventory was lower, I had a client secure a beautiful home with a contingency, and the seller agreed their house had been sitting for 45 days. Timing and market conditions matter. Congrats, you sold your home. Now it's time to buy the next one. A smart home strategy starts with financing. Even if you plan to use cash from your sale, get pre-approved first. Why? Because sometimes sales fall through or timeline shifts. Having backup financing ensures you don't miss out on a dream home. According to Experian, pre-approved buyers are 50% more likely to close successfully than those scrambling for last-minute financing. I once worked with a couple who planned to buy entirely with cash. Their buyer's financing fell through 10 days before closing, and suddenly their funds were delayed. Because they were pre-approved though, they pivoted to financing seamlessly, kept their new home purchase alive, and avoided losing a $10,000 earnest money deposit. Budget discipline is also key. The Federal Reserve reports that nearly 1 in 3 homeowners are house poor, meaning they spend too much of their income on housing costs. So don't join that club. Stick to the 25% rule, even if lenders approve you for more. When shopping, remember, you're in a position of strength. You're a non-contingent buyer, which means sellers take you seriously. Use that leverage to negotiate repairs, price reductions, or seller concessions. Clean offers don't just get accepted, they often win better terms. So let's look at some mistakes and pro tips to avoid. Before we wrap it up, let me rapid fire the biggest mistakes people make and how you can avoid them. Mistake number 1, buying before selling. We've covered this, but it's worth repeating. According to Bankrate, the number 1 regret of dual homeowners was underestimating how long it would take to sell their old home. Mistake 2, overpricing. Realtor.com data shows that home prices priced 10% above market value sit on average of 50 extra days before receiving an offer. Time kills deals. And mistake number 3, poor prep. A 2022 Zillow study revealed that 75% of sellers who invested in small repairs, paint, carpet, landscaping, reported a higher sale price than expected. And here's a pro tip. Be emotionally ready for setbacks. Inspections uncover surprises, foundation cracks, mold, bad wiring. Instead of panicking, budget 1% of your home price for unexpected repairs. Buyers who plan ahead stay calm. Sellers who don't panic. And one last pro tip, communication is everything. Deals fall apart over small misunderstandings. Keep open lines between your lender, agent, buyer, and seller. If you're proactive, you'll solve problems before they snowball. Buying and selling at the same time isn't easy, but it doesn't have to be a nightmare either. With the right plan, the right agent, and the right mindset, you can transition smoothly from one home to the next without crushing debt or sleepless nights. If you found this guide helpful, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more world-class real estate strategies, and drop a comment with your biggest concern about buying and selling real estate at the same time. And if you're ready to make your move and want an agent who actually cares about making this process stress-free, reach out. I'd be honored to guide you through it or put you in touch with a local agent in your area. Thanks for watching, and remember, no dream home is worth a financial nightmare. Play it smart, sell it first, buy second, and you'll be ahead of the game.